My journey began as a child. The first part was pretty normal, and then I was abused by a very sadistic person for 10 years of my life, from age 5 to about age 15. It was a lot of severe trauma and a lot of emotional things that I had to go through later. There was really no safe place for me to be as a child. You know, no matter where I was, there was something possibly fixing to happen to me. So I developed a lot of worry and anxiety. The constant worry and anxiety that I was experiencing growing up started to manifest themselves physically. I had stomach ache all the time. I was throwing up blood. They took me to the doctor, and I was diagnosed with 3 bleeding ulcers when I was 10 years old. And no one looked for a cause of that. I was hospitalized for the first time, and I received my diagnosis. What led to that was I was manic, I was depressed. It was either or, there was no in between. It was constant mood swings. I was having panic attacks, sometimes to the point where I would pass out. I was having flashbacks, like kind of post-traumatic stress flashbacks that were affecting, like where everything would just blank out. Like I wouldn't see what was going on around me, I would just see what had happened to me before. The symptoms would become difficult, make my life difficult. So I would go to the doctor, get on medication, maybe be hospitalized, inpatient, outpatient, all that therapy. And I would be okay for a while. I stayed on my meds. But the lack of education about mental illness of the people around me, the people I worked with, especially my family, kind of shamed my recovery to the point where when I was feeling okay and functioning well, then I stopped all the treatments. And I damaged most of the important relationships I had in my life. I had great jobs, awesome jobs, and then would lose them because of symptoms or just the substance abuse. I was introduced to peer support groups. I listened. I understood what they were saying. I took it all in. I didn't really live it though, because I was still drinking off and on. I was trying to stop, but I didn't really have the tools. So they offered to send me to a rehab here in Austin, and I got it this time. You know, it wasn't my first rehab, but it was the last one. I needed something to put between me and the self-destruction that I kept experiencing over and over again. And in the peer support groups, they introduced me to RAP. They sent me to the RAP training, Wellness Recovery Action Plan, and that was like my armor. You know, that was that's been the difference in not only my attitude, but just the whole way I think about living my life with the symptoms of mental illness. I'm starting to run groups now in Bastrop, and I find that I'm so excited about this. There's so many things I want to tell these people, you know, my peers, my people, you know, that I want to tell them what I've been through. I want to tell them that they don't have to think of themselves as a diagnosis. They don't have to think of themselves as less than anybody else. Whenever you get to help somebody else, whenever you get to get your mind off of you and give your life a purpose, a focus to help somebody else, it just it makes the day full of possibilities instead of just fires you have to put out. And I'm designing my own life now. And I wanted to let them know that that is a possibility for them, that they can think about that. They can make choices to design their own existence. I can't believe I get to do this for a living. I mean, I'm pretty happy about that.
Meeting Dawn in the beginning of the coalition and her coming into the coalition, Dawn was very withdrawn a lot and crying quite a bit. And I think just, trying to find her place in the coalition and the trainings and where we're at and going and finding that, she belongs, she had a place at the table. What I have seen after the year, Dawn now excels above anything that I could have thought of. She's gotten her license. She smiles all the time. She's happy. She is fully productive in the community, and she gives back so much. It's not the same person at all that I had met a year ago. She's able to put herself out there 100% raw now, as to where she would not put anything out there because she was too scared. But she doesn't live in that place anymore. It's totally different now.
I'm now a certified peer specialist as of last month. And I've been working for Bluebonnet for 6 months now. And I'm just hired yesterday, day before yesterday, full-time. That's a huge step, right? Because I'm going off of disability and I'm going to be an actual citizen again. But this time I'm a citizen with a lot of life. All the tools that we use taught me how to be a person, a person who knows who they are, forgives themselves for their past, who has a meaning and purpose in their life now. I'm trying to think about the journey. Where did that really start? Where did that hope come from? I think it's the fact that I am beginning to forgive myself for all the things that I didn't do, all the feelings I never processed. I was too worried about it. Use substances to numb myself out, to just do anything I could to avoid having a bad day, to feel, just to feel it. It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to feel bad. Well, when I really got behind my recovery, my momentum, and started to feel a part of the peer support movement, it was like a honeymoon phase, right? Everything was possible. And now I know that everything is still possible, but that there are ways to go about it, because we all have to change together, the whole system. The peers have to change. We have the staff that's in place and the system that's been there this whole time has to change some too. But they worked, right? They produced us. It worked to some degree. They saved my life. I think it's confidence in the trainings that we get. It's the support we found with each other. And that is huge, because when we get together, we know that the world is going to change exponentially every time we bring, that we're here. Then we're going to bring, 10 other people up, and then they're going to bring 10 other people up, and the world is going to change, and that is something to smile about.